Hey friends, this is Sophia and let's today learn about the basic steps of database connection in Dynamic Web Project. Then we will see with Maven. So for that the first step is let's open Eclipse IDE. Wait for a few seconds. It will show us to choose the path. Let's choose another path. Okay, select folder lunch. So let's take the perspective. You can see Java EE is the default one. Open. Now let's go to File, New, create a Dynamic Web Project. Let's give the project name as JDBC crude JDBC UD crude dynamic project dynamic then target runtime, select the runtime Apache Tomcat version 10.0. okay, go to next. src main Java, let's go to next. Generate web.xml, finish. Nice. You can see the JDBC crude dynamic project folder is created here. Okay, let's check server. Okay, for now let's click on get server, Apache 10.0, next, add, finish. Servers folder come. Okay, everything was right. Let's proceed on the next step. For JDBC connection, so this is the web.xml file. This is the source folder. The source. Let's remove these files. Okay, keep these two here. For JDBC connection, let's go to Maven repository. Here you can search MySQL connector J. Search. It's already opened. Let's click on it, and here you can say let's open the most used one, 8.3.0. In Dynamic Web Project, what we will do, we don't copy this is for Maven pom.xml file. here we click on the jar file and it get download automatically. So let's open the folder. Let's copy this one and paste it inside which folder? Inside lib. Which is inside the web app src main web app web inf liv lib. You can see this jar file. Now refresh it. Everything is done. Let's proceed on whether it is working or not. For that, let's open MySQL. Let's create another database. Create database DB4 create use DB4 so here you create table student. Let's create table student ID int name varchar 40 is int. So create table ID name is so tables describe table student select start from student and let's run all. So tables, you can see student table is created, describe table student, or you can describe only student. Let's see. Yes, ID int null, name varchar is int. Done. So we created the table, create the database, create the table, everything done. Let's move on to our main file. Here let's create packages. So for that let's create package com dot example dot dbutil. Enter. This is for database to establish database connection. Next, package for Pojo com dot example dot Pojo class where it is. Next, new package com dot example dot main next com dot example dot DAO database as a subject DAO package. Let's create package. So we created the packages. Let's start from Pozo. New class. STUDENT student class. Finished. So we have to create private int id, private string name, private int age. Now let's create getter and setter. Go to source, generate getter and setter. Then we can create either getter and setter or constructor and only getter. Anything is fine. So the student Pojo class is ready. Now let's check the database connection first. Establish the database connection. For that, let's create class div database utility helper constant or database utility constant. Anything you can write. finish. Here what we do, public static final string driver class, constant always write in capital, driver driver, bss class is equal to, then public static final string d database url username password. So here we put, to establish that connection with database, we have to register driver class, connect with database URL, they provide username and password for authentication. So there are four steps. That we do. Let me tell you what are those four steps. So steps in connecting with database via JDBC. The first step is to register the driver. Then we establish connecting with the database. Third step, the first step is register the driver. Second is connecting with database. Third, we create prepare statement. Fourth, execution of SQL. And fifth, close the connection. These 5 steps are necessary to connect with the database via JDBC. These are the basic steps we need to remember. So first let's establish the connection with database. That is our first duty. For that, let's first we register the driver class. So how do we get where the driver class is present. You can see MySQL connector. You go to the library MySQL connector 8.3.0, then you can see com.mysql cj.jdbc, and this is the driver class. So we give this address. This is the com.mysql cj.jdbc, and this is driver class. So we provide the address here, com.mysql.cj.jdbc.java jdbc.driver river jdbc.driver driver. Driver class provide. Then let's db your database URL. So this is my MySQL workbench, or you can open MySQL and connect the database. So this is MySQL address localhost. So provide JDBC MySQL : /localhost : 3306/db4, the database for that I created. Then provide my username, root, and password is also root. Always aware that there is no space, don't leave space, otherwise show throw error between the brackets. Now save it. Done. Let's do check. I have already opened the MySQL. Let's close it, and so you have to open through command line argument. Go to MySQL server. So I'm going to the place where I give program files. Here you can see MySQL server. Select this and write cmd. Then manage you to open it, root p. So to open this, let me check whether I write the proper command or not. Okay, before this I have to write MySQL. Sorry, let's check. So we have to click the bin file and then write cmd. Then close the previous one. We need to click the bin file, then cmd. Okay, now let's write MySQL to pass username enter password, provide your password. Now SQL connection, database connection established. So let's see. So the two databases, sorry, segment use DB4 okay. So tables student describe student, yeah, select star from student, empty set. Okay, everything is fine. Now let's move on to our program. So you can able to know how we get to know the driver class. com.mysql cg.jdbc.driver. This is the database URL through which connection will be established, username and password. Now let's create another class name dbutil inside this new class. dbutil to check whether the connection will be established or not. We'll move on. So dbutil class, let's create, finish. Here we do the first step, register the driver. The first two steps, let's do. So register the driver, CLSS class dot for name is equal to so before that we create the method public static connection get DBC connection throws will do last input connection java.sql db connection. So class dot for name, here what we do, db db utility con constant dot driver class. So to register the driver, use db utility constant dot driver class. Done. Then through declaration. Okay, then establish communication with the database. connecting with the database. So connection con equal to null, keep inside try and catch block, catch exception e sisu what e dot get message Travis con equal to driver manager dot so let's derive here driver spelling is MANA and is here. Okay, import driver manager, so dot get connection. Here we provide the URL, username and password. So let's db utility constant dot URL comma v dot username comma dot password. So this is done. Get statement, then move on, return con. So we two things we done: register the driver and connecting with the DB. Connecting with DB. Let's go to the main class and check whether I can establish the connection with database or not. So here let's create the main class, db.main, db class, db main, db main, publish static permanent. So in this main class let's check the connection. So for that first validate the connection. Connection con is equal to db connection db dot get db connection. Add zero exception. Now second, validate the connection. If con is not equal to null, connection is esta- established else connection failed. Okay, so let's check whether connection is established or not. Check whether so everything is done. I created the Pojo class, but now the Pojo is not needed. We need to check the connection with database established or not. So for that we need java database utility constant, this class, where we provide the driver database URL, username, password, and then register the driver, and second connecting with the database. So for that we connection con, and con is equal to driver manager dot get connection, then provide URL db utility constant dot db URL, username, password, then return the con, and then go to main and validate the connections here. Con db util dot get db connection. So this db connection is here, this db get db con. So let's run it. Run as Java application, not a server. Okay, just run a Java application. So let's see. Yes, you can see connection is established. So connection is established, so we can do further operation in this JDBC CRUD dynamic. In my next video I show you the CRUD operation in this dynamic web project. Okay, so we get success to connect with database, MySQL database. Thank you guys, thank you for watching. So just remember the important file data for database connection, this db utility constant file, db util file, and here we inside the Java libraries in the lib folder we have to copy the jar file from the Maven repository and paste it. Okay, this is the MySQL connector from where we get the database here driver com.mysql cjjdbc driver. Thank you guys, see you in the next video.